Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So I want to talk about Bronny James because, well, I'm going to try to put this lightly because part of me feels really bad for him. Part of me is like he was kind of thrust into this situation, I feel, by his father. I feel like he's trying to appease his dad more than doing what he probably should have done and go back to college. I've watched a couple of these Lakers Summer League games, man, and I'm just going to be blunt with you. Bronny James looks like he doesn't even belong out there with Summer League players, okay? There's no feel, man. His basketball IQ is not on the level of his father. It's not. You know, I don't know if you guys have watched like Awful Coaching's video about Bronny James, about why he's just a bad basketball player, but the kid just has no feel, man. Like it's very obvious he should have spent another year in college, and there's a lot of excuses out there that people are trying to make for him because obviously it's LeBron James' son, and, you know, we got LeBron stans out there who are like, oh, well, you know, Victor Wembanyama didn't play well in the fucking Summer League, and I'm like, but the thing is, like, nobody looked at Victor Wembanyama in Summer League and said, like, this guy doesn't even belong on the court with Summer League players. Nobody was saying that. You know what I'm saying? With Bronny James, there's people legitimately looking at him like, yo, he is, and not even arguably, okay, he is the worst guard on the Lakers Summer League roster, and there's no feel. He's airballing shots. He gambles on defense when he's not supposed to. You know, I get that people are, oh, well, if you watch the games, he plays well on defense. I mean, I guess if you think what he's doing right now on defense is playing well on defense, I don't know what to tell you, dude. But you need to get your eyes fucking checked. It's just the idea, like, he's out there and, you know, it's sad to say, but, like, if his father wasn't LeBron James, Bronny James wouldn't even be in the league. And the reason I say that is because the Lakers were the ones that drafted him. I promise you, if LeBron James was not on the Lakers roster, and, like, the Lakers wouldn't have even drafted him. And I'll stand by that. If LeBron James was not on the Lakers roster, the Lakers wouldn't have even drafted him. He is a massive, I mean massive work in progress. I've seen him airball shots, and you know, a lot of people are saying that the height is, or the hate is, you know, a little overstated. It's overblown. It's this, it's that. And I don't hate Bronny James, but I think it's a little fucking ridiculous that, like, we're getting House of Highlights reels for him scoring 2 points. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I get that people want to see how he's doing, and that's the main reason that they're uploading those videos. But, bro, 2 points? 2 points. This is what we're doing for LeBron James' son? Like, you know, in the Discord, Blues, he's one of the, he's a guy in our Discord. He brought up a really good point. You know, when Michael Jordan's kids came into the league, yeah, like, they got hyped up on their way there, right? But once they got there and people saw that they weren't, like, that fucking good, the hype went away. Like, they knew to shut the fuck up about it. With Bronny James, that is not the fucking case. With Bronny James, it's like, they're putting this kid front and center on on ESPN, on every sports talking show, like they're dissecting his fucking performance, and honestly, man, I think it makes it worse. I think it makes it way worse than it should be. You know, like, you watch it on, like, on First Take and on Undisputed, and what's the show? I think it's First Things First, I think, is what, Nick Wright or whatever. But it's like, even Colin Cowherd, all these, it's like every time this kid plays a game, they're dissecting his performance. Like it would be one thing if Bronny James was like a top 10 pick, right? But we're talking about a kid who went 55th overall in the second round, like a dude who wouldn't have even been fucking drafted if his father wasn't on the Lakers. They paid him $4.4 million, which is significantly more than the last 6 55th overall picks. Like, anybody who's a 55th overall pick is lucky if they're even in the league in the next 2 years. But the thing is, right, like, the idea that they're doing this, I think, is just making it even worse for him. I think the idea that like ESPN and all these talking heads are like dissecting everything this kid does, I'm like, it's making people hate him more, because people are looking at him and saying, yo, like, why are we talking about this when it's very obvious he doesn't belong? It's obvious he doesn't belong. You know what I'm saying? He should have went back to college. But instead, Daddy wanted him on the Lakers, so he's on the fucking Lakers. And you know what the sad part is, right? Like, there's a press conference clip of JJ Redick saying, like, Bronny James has earned this. No, the fuck he hasn't. No, he hasn't. And what kills me about that is JJ Redick knows it. JJ Redick, don't get me wrong, okay? JJ Redick might be a rookie head coach, okay? But JJ Redick understands the game of basketball, okay? They got clips of Jaylen Brown sitting on the bench saying, I don't think Bronny James is a pro, you know, doing some lip reading or whatever. And then he had to come out on Twitter and basically try to, like, you know, save face a little bit, saying like, oh, it's a great accomplishment to be playing with your dad, and, you know, I look forward to his progress and shit like that. But, like, even other NBA players know that, like, Bronny James is not on their level. And for whatever reason, LeBron James, and I don't think the Lakers are, I think LeBron James is in denial about how good his son actually is. And I get that he wants to play with his son. I understand, you know, they would be the first father-son duo to ever play a game together in NBA history, and I understand, like, he wants to make history in that regard, but at what cost? You know what I'm saying? Like, at what cost to Bronny James's career? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, boys, as soon as LeBron James retires, they're putting this motherfucker in the G League, and we may never see him again. Like, I know that sounds harsh, and I'm not saying he can't improve, but from what I've seen, man, like, if I were the GM of the Los Angeles Lakers, and I'm looking at my summer league roster, and I'm looking at maybe one or two guys that are gonna make my roster, Bronny James is not one of them. But Bronny James is, in fact, going to get a spot on that roster because LeBron James is his dad. And it kills me, man, because, like, Bronny James wasn't even the best player at USC. And the best player that was at USC didn't even get fucking drafted. So it's just, I don't know, man. You know what? I understand that the Lakers are trying to appease LeBron James, but, like, even this offseason, like, the West got better. Like, the Lakers are not a championship team. You look at all the teams in the West, right? The Sacramento Kings added DeMar DeRozan, okay? The Dallas Mavericks got Klay Thompson. The Pelicans got DeJounte Murray, right? Like, there's a bunch of teams in the West that are loading up a little bit. I mean, it's just, even the Spurs got better. They had fucking Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes. It's just, it amazes me that, like, I don't know what the word for it is, right? But it's like it's like the Lakers are kind of like living in a fantasy world where it's like, yeah, we have LeBron, we have Anthony Davis, we have Austin Reeves, we have D'Angelo Russell, and everything's gonna be great. You know, we're gonna make another run again. And meanwhile, you've been listening to LeBron for the past 4 years. It hasn't been working. Okay, every fucking offseason, every trade deadline, it's like a scramble for the Lakers to try to find something to add to their team to make it better. And now what you do is add a guy to your roster who arguably, actually it's not even arguably, who shouldn't be there for $4.4 million, and he's going to sit on your fucking bench. And yeah, he might play some meaningful minutes in, you know, in garbage time when the fucking game is over. But I just think to myself, man, like, why is LeBron subjecting his son to this? You know, anybody with eyes can see that Bronny James is not an NBA prospect. He's just not. And I hate to knock the kid, man, because I feel like he's being forced against his will into this position. I really do. I feel like Bronny James is trying to appease his father rather than do what the proper thing is and go back to college. But that's out of the question now. He's been drafted. So I don't know, man. You know what? And the sad part is, I feel like Bronny James, like, in his heart of hearts, knew he should have went back to college. But I have a feeling LeBron was probably like, no, you're going to the fucking NBA. You're coming with me. You know, it's better training staff, better this, better that. And while you are correct to an extent, yes, the training is probably better. The conditioning is better. I mean, you'll have your father as a mentor, right? Like, I understand all of that. You know, your father's the greatest arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. So I understand that aspect of it. Like, I understand the training's better, the conditioning's better. You'll have a better place to stay. You'll be around your father for a year or two. You'll get to spend more time with your father than you ever have probably in the last 20 years. But at the same time, I think to myself, Bronny James, I think, knows that he's bitten off more than he can chew. And I think breaking that to his father is something he simply does not want to do. And as a result, he's going through with it. And I hate to say it, but I have a feeling Bronny James is going to be out of the league within the next 2 to 3 years. As soon as LeBron retires, like... I hate to say it, but once LeBron retires, like, the Lakers have no obligation to LeBron anymore. They could cut his fucking son if they want to. And, excuse me, I have a feeling that's something that is very likely to happen. So, I feel bad for Bronny, man. I hate watching his summer league games because it's like, I don't know, watching a kid get fucking tortured. You know what I'm saying? Like, he goes out there and it's just obvious he doesn't belong. You know, nobody was saying that about Victor Wembanyama. You know, even Scoot Henderson. It's like, Scoot Henderson played like shit this past season, right? But Scoot Henderson was a guy that we looked at and we were like, yeah, he's rough around the edges. He commits too many turnovers. He doesn't shoot well. He doesn't do this. But he's an NBA prospect. He's got some awareness, right? You know, like, there's redeeming qualities to his game. But when you watch Bronny, I'm like, bro, like, this is bad. Like, he does not belong. He doesn't belong out there in the summer league. Like, this is summer league, bro. Most of these rosters are comprised of players that will never make an NBA roster ever in their fucking lives. Like, a lot of these rosters are comprised of players that will never even touch an NBA court, ever. And he looks like he doesn't belong amongst them. So, you know, I don't know, man. I don't see a world in the future where Bronny James is picking up guys like Drew Holiday 94 feet. That's all I'm saying. Even if you think he's a good defender. You know what I'm saying? I understand the jump shot hasn't been falling. Even his shooting percentage, like, over the past 2 or 3 games has been fucking abysmal. But you know, it's hard for me not to feel bad for him. It really is. It's hard for me to, like, look at this and I'm like, bro, like, he's like, this is gonna ruin any NBA career this kid could have possibly had. All because his father wanted to rush him to the league. You know, if he would have at least if he would have went back to USC, like, nobody even knows if this kid can play, like, what, 30 minutes? How many minutes a game has he been playing in the summer league? I haven't looked at that, but, like, have they even tested to see if this dude can do 30 minutes a game or 40 minutes a game? Like, is that something they're, because he's got the heart condition. That's the other thing. I'm like, bro, does anybody know if this kid can even play 35 minutes a game? So, I don't know, man. It just, to me, Bronny James has been set up to fail. You know, any success he could have had should have come from him staying in college another 2 or 3, another 1 to 2 years, and then we see. Then we see if he's going to be the player that we all expected him to be. But he's been hyped up since he was a kid because he's LeBron James' son, and he's being tossed into the fucking fire. You know what I'm saying? He's getting thrown into the fire day one, and hate to tell you boys, but I don't think Bronny James is coming out alive. You know what I'm saying? Some people get thrown into the fire and do very well. You know, so some people are great at just plugging. You know what I'm saying? Even at your regular jobs. You know, some people get thrown into the fire on day one, and they adapt immediately. Bronny James is not one of those guys when it comes to basketball. Bronny James is being thrown into the fire, and he's getting fucking cooked. So, tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. Like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.